here today with me. Anybody that doesn't know me, in addition to being a founder of the company, I run our customer success team, and really excited to guide you today to our revenue center. Let's start. I want to start first by explaining why we actually developed this feature. And if you take a look at this slide, I mean, customer success has many aspects, but usually we'd like to focus first on the drivers. So Totango can and is being used to help you measure and improve and drive usage and drive adoption and improve onboarding. Those are the most critical elements of running a successful customer success organization. But those drivers also lead to results, and results are actually renewals and upsells and expansions. And the main thing we wanted to do here is provide you with a way to measure and forecast those financial results. So that's the main thing about the Revenue Center. It's about everything you need to know in order to help you forecast your renewals, churns, and upsells, and also find some upsell opportunities as well. And you can see some of the benefits here. It's about analyzing in real time what's your performance in retention, in churn, in upsell until now. So, you know, no longer using those spreadsheets or very complicated reports from Salesforce, and everybody's exporting that to another Excel sheet, and then your CFO wants it in another view. You should be getting all of this from our Revenue Center as well. It's also about planning. How do you make sure you plan your next quarter or second quarter or the entire year and be able to forecast and actually fix things along the way? And of course, analyze and see where do you have problems with your revenue stream, whether that's a specific CSM or specific regions and things like that. So these are the main benefits. What I like to do is just go ahead, drill down, and show you the specific model. So this is our Revenue Center. It should be open to anyone who's on a Pro Plus plan. If you're not on a Pro Plus plan, feel free to reach your customer success manager and they'll get back to you with the details. And the first thing you see is actually you need to pick up which quarter you're actually looking at. By the way, those can be configurable. I'll show you in a minute how we configure all those settings, but let's assume we're forecasting and working by quarters. I'm now going to look at Q1 2016. So I'm getting high-level forecasted retention rate. And here I can see either all accounts, or if I'm a CSM, just my accounts. I see that altogether this demo system have 169 accounts. In Q1 2016, we have 43 accounts that are up to renewal, and the total ARR is 613K ARR for renewal. What we can see here is the main table of the Revenue Center. You can see here your performance, quarter to date, your forecast, and goal. Let's start with goals. Ideally, in every quarter or every year, you should plan what is your goal. For this example, the company planned to actually have an upsell goal of 200K, about to lose no more than 80K, altogether net growth 120K. Up till now, and those are actual results from the demo system, the company was able to upsell almost 60K, and everything here is clickable, so you can clearly see who are the customers that were upsold. So Lala, for example, was upsold for an additional 16K. Good job, Cecilia, by the way. But the company actually lost already almost 160, and the growth is actually negative. This is a place when you can take a look at the forecast and update your forecast. You do this by clicking on this, and I can see that I have 4 accounts that actually will not forecast yet. If I remove this, I will see all the accounts in this quarter, but just to make it simpler here. And I'm going to work with my CSM, or they will do that, and they will say, this account is actually going to renew. This one, I know, is actually going to churn. While this one, I think there's going to be a great opportunity to add $15,000 to the contract, and that they will actually downgrade in $1,000. So that's the way for you to manage those forecasting. And when you do that, everything is updated in real time, and you can see what's your performance up to date until now. What is your forecast, really based on those things and those specific goals. In addition, you can see that not but just by dollar value, but also by logos. So how many accounts were upsold, how many accounts were downgraded, and how many accounts were actually lost. This really provides you with a really good way to understand your portfolio and manage the forecast. Now, forecasting doesn't need to be just on using the screen. Whenever you search for a specific account, let's look at something here for example, a second. It's a demo system, so I'll have to find a real account here. Let's say I'm working on this specific account. So we've actually added here on the account level, when you are working regularly on your account, you can always update the forecast. And you say, although they're actually renewing in January, I know that I spoke with them and I plan to upsell them an additional 20K, but that's going to be only in April. So that's a good way for you to, again, when you work on specific accounts, to update those forecasting values. If you go back to the revenue center, then other than this view of your performance and overall renewal rate, retention rate, and churn rate, of course, you can analyze and have additional breakdowns. For example, I can really compare my team, and I can, work with Cecilia and say, "Good job, you've done, growth almost 23K this quarter. Well, this guy Omer is not doing a good job." So you can really compare your customer success team and have a dashboard about their performance, growth, renewal, upsell, downgrade, and churn. In addition, there are trends. So again, I'm sure that each one of you is struggling on how I present my net retention rate, my revenue rate. This is something that is being solved by this revenue center. Now Totango is able to provide you with all this kind of financial information really based on your metrics. What's really important is that there's a lot of, or not a lot, but there's a couple of options that you can configure the revenue center to really adjust to the way that you manage your business. So if you click on settings here, you can say if you want to focus monthly and quarterly, how do you calculate churn, how do you calculate contracts, what are the right fields for that. So this is something that your customer success manager will be happy to go walk you with you. But again, it's really important to make sure that we're getting the right data. You can also see that when I have accounts that are missing forecast, I'm going to get an alert here. When I have an account that actually the renewal was overdue, so the revenue center is not sure what to do with them, you can get all those kinds of alerts here. So to summarize, the main thing you are actually able to do with the revenue center, you pick a quarter and you start with putting up the goals. Quarter-to-date value are things that we automatically read from your system, and you're able to actually update the forecast and make sure you have a great overview about the financial results and outlook of your performance. So that's what I wanted to actually show today. I'm going to pause for 2 minutes to see if anybody has questions, and we'll get back to you in 2 minutes. Okay, let's start with a couple of questions. One of them is that does any information from Salesforce is actually getting pushed into this module? So yes, basically the way we track information into this module could come from Salesforce. Whenever you update your contract value in Salesforce, for example, when you have an opportunity that you won it, the Revenue Center can read it and decide whether that's just a renewal or an upsell, for example. The same goes for churn. So basically, wherever you manage those events that even today tells Totango that an account was upgraded or the account returned, whether it's Salesforce or another system, we can connect to that and release information. There's a question about whether there's a startup pricing for the Revenue Center. Let's take it with your Customer Success Manager. We have some very interesting packages, and if anybody is interested, just contact your CSM. They'll have their actually details. Can a difference show in a ratio rather than a value? The answer is not right now, but definitely something that we'll consider doing. Again, we've just released this module, and we're collecting feedback from our customers. We had about, I think, 10 or 15 beta customers, got great feedback, and we'll continue to enhance the product as we get more and more feedback on this. Let's see if we have any more questions. So the question here, what is the difference between the forecast that I've showed and the goal? The goal is a way for you as somebody who's running the customer success team to set the goal for the team. You should have a goal of not losing more than 100K this quarter, for example. The forecast is based on your current portfolio status. Your customer success team should actually go and change their projection. If you know that you have 5 accounts that are going to be upsold and you know who they are, and 2 that are going to be churned, that's the way for you to manage it. So it's actually comparing between the goals that you've laid out either beginning of the year or beginning of the quarter and the actual performance and forecast up to date. So, somebody asked about how do we get to the setting page. So if you see my screen right now, there's a nice button here called Settings and all the right configuration. There are also a couple of documents in our Help Center. So we'll follow up and send the email that shares that, but you should be able to find it that actually explain all of this. But really, our customer success team is really eager to help you with that. If you have any questions or just want to get started, let's schedule a session with your customer success manager, and we'll get you started as soon as possible. Okay, these are the questions that we have for now. A couple of other things I wanted to speak with you about. One is we know that customer success is difficult and complex, and that's one of the reasons we're actually going to be announcing next week the Customer Success Machine book. So tune to our publication, and more than happy to see if you're interested in this book. And of course, if you are not registered for the summit, by the way, the book will be there. If you're not registered to a customer summit, it's an amazing, amazing event. I keep looking at the agenda every day. New speakers and new topics are actually over there. You cannot miss it. If you want to come and you haven't, reach out for your CSM. We may have some offers for you. We want you to come. We want you to be there. And of course, we'll have much more hand-on detailed sessions also about the Revenue Center, as well as other functionality that we have. So with that, I wanted to say thank you. Again, feel free to reach out to your customer success manager. Let's get you started with the Revenue Center, and let's get you forecasting your performance. Thank you very much, and have a great day.